Check out this photo of a nativity scene at a Calgary church. Yeah, I know what you're thinking. What kind of a cad would dare desecrate a display that's so sacred to devout Christians? But sorry folks, this scene is no act of vandalism, but rather another screwball example for what passes for progressive thinking by the increasingly loony United Church of Canada. You know, I'm still chuckling over a CBC story about a United Church in Calgary that's displaying what's being described as a different take on the nativity scene, which is to say that if you drop by the Red Deer Lake United Church, you will come across a, quote, inclusive cross-cultural display that includes an Indigenous wise man, end quote. According to the CBC, Reverend Nick Coates says he was expecting congregants and others to push back, but everyone has loved the updated and reimagined version of Christ's birth. Well, but of course they do. I mean, we are talking about the United Church here, whose unity seems to be driven by the pursuit of wackiness. In any event, one of the Magi is Canadian astronaut Roberta Bondar, who holds out the Milky Way constellation to symbolize the gift of knowledge. The Magi with the dreadlocks is American musician Michael Franti, who brings the gift of music. The shepherds are depicted as poor teenagers. I think that would make me cross the street, actually. Oh, let's not forget to mention the wise man who is meant to look like Assembly of First Nations National Chief Perry Bellegarde. And forget about such old school gifts as gold, frankincense, and myrrh, because Bellegarde's gift is a blanket. Hey, if I'm the baby Jesus, I'm kind of feeling a little gypped right now. By the way, shockingly, the baby Jesus is still depicted as a baby. You know, to be honest, I was expecting Bumblebee from the Transformers movie franchise to be playing the role of the Son of God. Oh, and there seems to be no outrage about cultural appropriation here. No, sir. Reverend Coates notes that, quote, by contemporizing some of the traditional imagery and by decolonizing some of the characters, the hope is to create a scene that sparks curiosity, engagement, and wonder. I hope this nativity can cause people to stop, engage, and wonder, what does Christmas really mean? End quote. Call me a crank here, but I thought Christmas was about the birth of Christ. I mean, have you ever noticed how the word Christ is actually part of the word Christmas? What a coincidence, eh? By the way, the Reverend Coates further notes that this nativity scene makes for honky-free territory, given that all of the characters are depicted as brown-skinned. Now, that's diversity. But you know, the good Reverend was prudent enough not to go all out when it came to all this diversity stuff, which is to say this nativity scene does not have a depiction of the Prophet Muhammad, because that kind of diversity tends to bring out the Grinch in certain people. In any event, if you happen to be driving through Southwest Calgary and you come across this display, again, folks, please don't call the cops. This is not a nativity scene that's been defaced by hooligans, but rather made culturally diverse in accordance to the guidelines trumpeted by the Church of the Liberal Party of Canada, because, hey, diversity is our strength after all. So to one and all, I wish you a very Merry Christmas, or whatever it is that the United Church is calling Christmas these days. For the Rebel.media, I'm David the Menzoid Menzies. Hey folks, the Rebel has a new app. Please download that app and take the Rebel with you wherever you go.